does it really make sense for a newly certified coder to take an auditing course when they don't have any coding experience? And I think you can address that for us.
I think any time that you get a certification underneath your belt, it only makes you better, and it makes you more marketable to do that. The auditing certification isn't extremely difficult per se, but it's very, very different because it only focuses on one thing when we're doing that. So, you know, it may be something, if you're interested in doing that, yeah, if you want to go ahead and, you know, get your certification in, that's great. It'll look great on your resume. Employers may, though, want you to have a little bit more experience in it, so you may not get hired right away as an auditor, but it'll certainly help you out in the future.
Yes, I had pondered this question as well. See my little guy pondering right there? I thought that was a great picture. You know, and there really are different ways to answer that because, again, like Tammy already mentioned, it depends what region you're in. You know, is there a demand for auditors? You know, and you have to consider auditing is much more than just coding. You know, you have to be really good with the documentation, familiar with that, and while you're auditing, you're usually doing document specialty work. Wouldn't you agree, Tammy? I mean, making sure things are signed and, you know, which when you get into the auditing course, you know, Tammy can explain that to you. But again, it's just not knowing codes. You really have to have a strong grasp of E&M, like Tammy mentioned already. And if you struggle with that, then that's just a sign you need to work. You know, you need to get some help, and we have help with that with an E&M CEU module. But there are great tools out there to help you. And auditors are people, I think, wouldn't you say, Tammy, that when that sparks, E&M sparks somebody's interest, that's a good flag that you know, you would enjoy auditing?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And if you like looking at it now, you would definitely want to get your auditing certification.
I've had a few people where the students, you know, because usually I give them a little warning, you know, oh, by the way, you know, the E&M's a little tough, so when you get there, you know, don't be scared. We'll walk you through it. And there's some that come back and, you know, I love this, and I always think, oh, all right, that's an auditor talking. You know, you need to have attention to detail. Very important. There's rules and regulations. They change all the time, every year, and sometimes more frequently than that. But, you know, not only do you have to know the rules and regulations for CMS and stuff, but all the insurance companies change their, you know, the way they want something, the way Medicare wants something. It may not be the way Blue Cross Blue Shield in your area wants it. And you have to be able to stand up to justification. And what I meant by that was that, you know, an auditor comes in and they're telling you what you're doing wrong. They're catching your mistakes. Now, if this is an internal audit, you know, you want them to do that for you. And as a coder, you're just going to expect to be audited. It doesn't matter how often or how long you've been coding, because, you know, I know really, really good coders that enjoyed being audited because they want to know quickly, am I doing this wrong? Has something changed? Bring it to my attention. So auditing is a way of life if you're a coder. But when they come in and do those external audits, they're usually paid to find mistakes. And you, if you're the auditor, you have to be able to justify and have that knowledge when somebody's fighting for those points. I call them, or, you know, when you're going to ding them, they're going to fight. And so you have to be able to stand up against that and give rationales. So, you know, if you think that this might be for you, these are some things to consider if you're new. Will the benefit outweigh the expense? Again, you know, when you have multiple certification, you have to pay more in for your certifications every year. You have to get more CEUs, and you need to pay for your training, you need to pay for the test. So think about that. And sometimes your employers, like Tammy said, will pay for you to have that training because it benefits them for you to have the ability to do that internal auditing for them. And it's something that you might want to approach your employer about. Do I have the background needed? Again, you can get your CPC, and if that's something you want to do and get auditing, jump in there and do it. Just because you don't have 2 years of experience might mean that you have to struggle a little bit more or ask more questions, but you get that under your belt, and the real learning is out in the workforce anyway. What are my job options? Can I get a job as an auditor? Is this going to enhance my resume, like Tammy said? Is this going to make me more marketable? And is this what I want to do in coding? Auditing would be, a great course, and it sounds good to be an auditor, but if you don't like E&M and you don't like, having your nose in those cases, then, and nothing else, then, it may not be for you. So consider that. Talk to auditors. Talk to instructors like Tammy who have that background behind them, so that you can find out, is this really what I want to do? Do you have anything you add, Tammy, to that?
Just one thing about the expense. I know that CCO is offering this for, I think, $380, and that's wonderful.
That's really cheap.
Yeah, extremely, because when I took this 5 years ago, it was $975 to do this. So, when you're paying $1,000 to get educated and certified, you do really have to ask those questions. Is it going to benefit me in the future? So this one is not expensive at all in my book. It's being offered at a great price. So if you're thinking about it, now's the time to jump on that.
And the reason that Laureen does that, everyone, is because it's our launch. So you're kind of beta testing for us, making sure that we've got everything where it needs to be, and not to say that is a negative thing. You're still going to get a quality education, but your feedback is really valuable to us. So we want to have the best course out there, and this is going to be done live. And when you have live, again, that makes you have to be a little bit more patient with a more restricted schedule. And so there's pros and cons. Take advantage of that if you're able to do that.
Thank you, Tammy, for being with us. It was great talking to you, and we look forward to having you.
Oh, me too. Thank you. Y'all have a great night.
Get more CPC exam tips, coding certification training, and CEU credits. Go to www.codingcertification.org.